Hey guys, welcome to EuroLeague Fantasy Talks. In this episode, we will talk about BasketNews EuroLeague Fantasy and our preparation for round 24. And here you can see my team from round 23. I got a total of 156 points and increased the capital by 240k. And mostly was hit by the decision to go with Devin Booker and Nigel Hayes-Davis for the last day in the starting six and keeping Maladon on the bench. And hence I ended up with 156 fantasy points. And this is how much each of the players increased or decreased my budget. James and Sterling Brown increased 300k, so that's the most. And this is how much each player needs to score in round 24 not to drop their price. So for example, Devin Booker needs to score 17 fantasy points not to drop his price. Poirier 6.1, but he's doubtful. I'm not sure if he will play, so check closer to the deadline if he will play. Personally, I don't want to risk it, so I will trade him out. Sterling Brown will increase his price as long as he scores more than 5 fantasy points. So a good pick for price growing. Basically, Nigel Hayes-Davis, Tyreek, and Maladon, we all need to score around 16 fantasy points not to drop their price. Same for Mike James. Devin Booker needs 17. Vezenkov 25.2 fantasy points. Hezonian shorts around 22-23 would not reduce their value. And let's now go check which trades we're gonna make. So actually I will make only 2 trades because I have a feeling that Vezenkov will play, but in case he will not play I will trade him. Otherwise I will sell Tyreek Jones, as Vesda is good in defense generally, but I want to get another forward that I think is more likely to score good. And also, as I said, I will not risk with Poirier, so I'm selling Vincent Poirier. And for my forward, I will go with Juancho Hernangomez. Juancho needs to score only 2.7 fantasy points not to drop his price, so he's actually very likely to grow your budget. So it's a good pick from that side, but also he doesn't have a competition neither in Milan team, which they will play against, because in the front court, Nebo and Mirotic are injured. So it's only Zach Lidey left, basically, Gillespie and Ricci. So I don't think that's a tough competition to guard Hernangomez. He will able to score and get a lot of rebounds. But also, even in his team, Yurtseven and Lessort injuries leaves him playing a lot of minutes in every game and generating that PIR. So it's only Vinny and Gabriel basically, otherwise Hernangomez plays 30 plus, if not 35 minutes. So we're definitely going with him, and he's playing on Thursday. And as my center, I will go with Nikola Milutinov. Milutinov should get again a good role because of Mustafa Fal's injury, as he injured a finger. So I don't expect him to play. But also, if Vincent Poirier doesn't play, it will be even easier for Milutinov to score if there is no Poirier on the other side. I cannot make the same mistake twice, so I will not keep Maladon on the bench, but of course he's playing on Thursday, and I will go with him as my captain. Otherwise, I have Mike James playing on Friday. I will go with Mike James as my secondary captain if Maladon doesn't perform so well. And yeah, that's my team for round 24. And let's now go check price growing stats of top 10 players in each position by fantasy points average. So in top 10 centers, we have Devin Booker, Bolomboy, and Tavares in top 3. Otherwise, for price growing, Milutinov is good, and especially now that he should get more minutes, if not so much centers for Olympiacos. Also, Neil Sako. Poirier is only good if he would play, of course, so be careful. Otherwise, Bolomboy needs to score 28.6 not to drop his price. And forwards, if Vezenkov will play, he needs to score 25.2, as we already saw. Lidey needs to score 21. Nigel Hayes-Davis 15. Moneka 27. So best for price going would be to pick Shengeli and Petrushev, as Shengeli, even with 6 fantasy points, should increase his price. And Petrushev, even with -7, would not drop his price. And in guards, we have Jokubaitis for only 5 fantasy points. He would still not reduce his budget. Kevin Punter is very good for 7.2. Carson Edwards 5.3, but it's an away game, so he's not a guarantee to have a great game. I think he should score more than 5, so he might be worth the risk. Otherwise, Campazzo, 10 fantasy points, he would increase your budget, so Campazzo might be a really good pick. And let's now go check the best price growing stats for each position. And in centers, we have Tariq Black with even -19 fantasy points. He would not reduce his budget. So as long as he plays 1 second, he will bring money to your budget. Shanli with -10. Willy Hernangomez only if he would play, and he gets very limited minutes, so be careful if picking Willy. But otherwise, with -5, he would still not drop his value. Berrutis, if Smilagic will not play, should get again more minutes, and with -3, he would not reduce his price. Gillespie, Caruso, these are Milan guys. For example, Kratzer, if he scores more than 3 fantasy points, then he would grow his price. he would not reduce his price because 50k is the smallest that you can reduce your price to, so he will not reduce your budget. But if he scores more than 3, then he can bring some money. Otherwise, Papagiannis needs to score 5.4 not to reduce his value. And in forwards, Lovuko Baro, if he will play, because last game he didn't play, but in the Spanish league he already played. So even with minus 21 fantasy points, he would not reduce his value. So that's a really good pick. Beberovic minus 16, also a great pick. Then, yeah, all these other guys. And let's go to the guards. And in the guard section, Brizuela is the best with minus 19. He would not reduce your budget. Di Bartolomea with minus 10. Edwin Jackson with minus 6.7 would not reduce, but be very careful because he does get minus performances. So he's not guaranteed to bring money to your budget. Otherwise, Obst can be a risky pick. Teodosic and Williams Goss, depending if Walkup is back. And Cannon, yeah, he's a very risky pick because he can also get even more than minus 2. And then his price would be reduced, but at least you know the stats. So that would be it for round 24. For more content on EuroLeague Fantasy, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.